Hello everyone and welcome to a reading wrap-up for the Readathon Camp SeasonAthon. This was created and hosted by Melanie from Completely Melanie. And there were two co-hosts for this round. We had Drew from Drew's Ambitious Reading and Amanda from The Reading and Writing Life. This was a team-based readathon, and the following were the teams. We have the Rainbow Cabin, the Shadow Cabin, and the Castle Cabin. Melanie was the leader of the Castle Cabin, Amanda of the Shadow Cabin, and Drew was the leader of the Rainbow Cabin. I decided to go for the prompts on the Rainbow Cabin, so Drew was my team captain on this. So each team had a group book, and the group book for, let's go ahead and just tell you real quick what I'm going to tell you the prompts for, well, no, okay. I'm just going to go from how I have them written down. So the group book for my team for the Rainbow Cabin was Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. I did read this book and I read it digitally, and it was 296 pages for the edition that I read, and I gave this one 4 stars. This is an LGBT romance that takes place during a summer camp, and the romance is between two females, so it is a female-female, or a sapphic, I believe is the word, a sapphic romance. And this was really cute. This was the type of book that I did go to some summer camps as a youth, hated it, acted like I loved it, because I know that the parents send you away for it and they want you to have a great time, and I didn't want to disappoint the parent and the people that planned to put it together, but I hated all my summer camps. Hated them. But reading this book is the type of summer camp that I wish I would have been able to go to as a youth, but because this one sounds like it would have been fun, but it is not, obviously, what I ended up going to. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the prompts. Prompt number 1 was to read a book that was under 500 pages. For this one, I went with Wild Seed, written by Octavia E. Butler. I read this by ebook. It was 298 pages, and I gave this one 3 stars. It is the start of a series, and I look forward to actually continuing on with this series. What can I tell you that this one is about? Family lineage is a big part of this. You have 2 people that live for centuries upon centuries, like I'm talking hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of years, and one of them will kill people and inherit their body, and then the other one does not do that. She just lives, and forever she can change her shape from a human to something like a whale or a dolphin or a bird, things like that, and family is very important to her. So it was a good read. It was very interesting. Prompt number 2 was to read a book with a cat or a dog on the cover. For this one, I went with the House Witch number 3. There is a cat. There's also some rats on the cover. The rats are important in this, but this cat's name is Kraken, and he is the familiar of the House Witch, named Finley Ashowan, or Finn for short. So yes, think cozy mystery vibes. 5 stars. All 3 books in this series have gotten 5 stars. There is a 4th book, but it takes place 20 years after the events that this one concluded, and I look forward to getting to that book soon. But I absolutely love this series. Highly recommend. This one was 365 pages. Again, 5 stars. I wish more people were talking about this series. Prompt number 3 is to read a book with rainbow colors on the cover. The House Witch would have worked for that, but I did not want to double up. I don't even remember if you could double up or not, but I did not double up, so I did not get a book for that prompt. Number 4 is to read a book from a book box. I did not do that. And number 5 is a friend or a relative pick. This would have been my last prompt to do, like as far as like the last one I would have actively tried to do out of the prompts for the group, but they're group prompts and I didn't even get to it, so I didn't even have to worry about it. So each group had 5 prompts. So those are all the prompts for the Rainbow Cabin. I only fulfilled 2 of the prompts for my group, and I did read the group book. The prompts for Shadow Cabin were a shadow on the cover or in the title, bones on the cover or in the title, S and C in the title, so Shadow Cabin, spooky or a horror book, and a spoopy or a middle grade horror. And the group book is The Shadows by Alex North. I actually own a physical copy of this one, but the group books for this other, I would have liked to have got to both of these, because both of these I am interested in. One, I have this book, and so I wanted to get to it, but I just didn't. So, and then for Castle Cabin, the prompts are retelling. Number 2 is with royalty. Number 3 was with dragons, the house which would have worked for that because there was a dragon. Number 4 involves a battle or a war, the house which would have worked for that. And then castle in the title or on the cover. So the house which would have worked for like 4 of the prompts for Castle Cabin, because it's not a retelling, but it does have royalty in it. The group book for Castle Cabin was Gilded by Marrissa Meyer. I have read, is it The Lunar Chronicles by Marrissa Meyer, and I thoroughly loved it. And Heartless, which was a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but from the Queen of Hearts perspective. And I really enjoyed that one. So I really would have wanted to get to Gilded because I do like Marrissa Meyer's writing, but alas, I ran out of time for that one too. So in addition to the team prompts, there were general prompts, and there were 15 general prompts. I did complete more of these ones. So prompt number 1 was a seasonal read for the season that you are currently living in. I am in America, and it is summer, and as of filming this, it is July 4th, which is America's Independence Day. So what took place during the summer was Deep and Dark and Dangerous by Mary Downing Hahn. This gal goes with her niece and her cousin. She is on summer vacation. She goes to, I want to say it was Maine, I could be wrong on that, and goes to this cabin, and her aunt takes her there to babysit her little cousin, and so the aunt can do some artwork as an artist, do some work, and so she is there to babysit. And it is a middle grade horror, and so there is death of a child, there is drowning, there is hauntings, things like that, and secrets coming to the surface. I ended up giving this one 3 stars, and it was 187 pages. Prompt number 2 was to read a translated work, and I did not do any translated works this month. So, all right, we'll just go ahead and move on. Number 3 was to read a book by American BIPOC authors, so Black, Indigenous, or Person of Color. And I went with Real Men Knit by Kwana Jackson. This one, grief is a big story. The male perspective that we're following, his mom has recently passed away, and so he is trying to convince his brothers to band together to keep their mother's knit shop from closing after her passing. And so he's doing what he can. He is known as a flake, and so they don't really trust that things are going to work out, but he is trying his darndest. 4 stars, 319 pages. Prompt number 5 is 5 or more words in the title. I went with This Is Not the Real World. So 6 words written by Anna Carey. So This Is Not the Real World. I actually listened to this only via audio, and the audiobook was 6 hours and 49 minutes. I gave this one 3 stars. If I go by the pages, which is what I'm going to do for the total at the end, the ebook version is about 304 pages. So that's what I'm going with. This, think The Truman Show by Jim Carrey, except switch out Jim Carrey's character for a 18-year-old girl. And that's pretty much what This Is Not the Real World is. And this takes place, it's modern day, but This Is Not the Real World, the world that she is in where things are being filmed is set in the 90s. And I liked that twist on it. Number 6 is to read a romance. I went with Halloween Bang by S.F. Riley. This is part of a Monsters Mistake series. This is a collection of novellas or short stories, monster smut. Sometimes the humans are actually witches, and some of them don't know they're witches, but usually they're just humans, and those ones are always the female. The monsters are always the man, at least in all the ones I've read thus far. I gave this one 3 stars. It was 127 pages, and the monsters range from vampire to zombies to alien, and they're all written by different authors, and it's just a fun smutty time. So number 7 is to read an LGBT plus book. For this one, I am decided to slot in A Letter to Three Witches. The main POV we are following is not LGBT as far as we know. It is never mentioned and never hinted at, but she has a cousin who is gay and is in a male-male relationship with someone who is in politics. And it is specifically mentioned that the partner of this male cousin is bisexual. So this does have LGBT rep in it. And there is a LGBT scene at the very end. It is so very sweet. It was like, made me go, oh, I wish I could have been there. Would love to have seen that in person. This was written by Elizabeth Bass, and I gave this one 4 stars, and it was 292 pages. So this ancestor of the main character it's said that they did a big blunder, and so as punishment, the witch council made it so that this person's descendants, which is one of the main character that we're following is a descendant, they cannot practice their magic. However, something sets on a chain of events that their magic starts to bubble to the surface, and strange things start to happen, and I'll leave it at that. It was very funny and very sweet at times, and it was a good book. I do recommend this one. As far as this one is a romance, but it is not explicit, so this is more on the sweet romance side. Prompt number 8 was to read a book with food on the cover, and I did not complete this prompt. Number 9 involves some kind of trip, and I decided to slot in my Senor Grumpylicious by Luna Stone. I gave this one, unfortunately, 1 star. This was an ebook, 238 pages. I have since deleted it from my Kindle, so I have unhauled it. And this one includes a trip where the character goes to Spain to do a study abroad. So she is in Spain, and so that's what I'm going to count this. It is a romance, and the fact that I got 1 star and I just can't... It read very choppy to me, and other than that, I don't really remember the plot of this. So let's go ahead and move on. Prompt number 10 is for a steamy book. I read Halloween Kismet by Nikki Lobelia. I'm sure I said that wrong. I gave this one 3 stars. It was 73 pages. If I remember right, I think this one was a zombie. I've read several of them, and they are kind of starting to run together with which monsters are in which book. Very much adult, and very steamy, like erotic. So, but it's just a fun short read. Prompt number 11 is King or Queen in the title. I did not do this one. Number 12 is a title that starts with D, like Delta, I like Indy, no, it's a T. So D like Delta, T like Thorn, or S like Shadow. And I did it with a T like Thorn, and I read That's Not My Name. So there's that T. This was written by Megan Lally, and this is a debut from this author. I was not expecting the twist, and I loved that twist. Came way out of left field, knocked me off my feet. Holy cow. So this one we're following 2 POVs. Both of them are teenagers. This is a young adult. This also has LGBT rep. One of the characters, the male character that we are following, has 2 dads. He calls one dad and one papa. And papa, I believe, is from Guatemala. So we do have a little bit of that representation there. There is a female in this that has gone missing. So you do have a missing teenager. And the male that we're following is accused of doing something, basically killing her, and the town is turned against him. And so he's trying to do what he can to find her and clear his name. And the other POV we're following is a teenage girl, and she can't remember who she is, but this man shows up saying that he is her father, and she has this amnesia from, it appears to be physical trauma, like she's hit her head hard enough, she's got amnesia, and she's trying to remember things, and he's trying to help her remember a couple of things, and that's all I'm going to say about this one, because it's fun as things unravel. I gave this one 5 stars, and it was 290 pages. Prompt number 13 is a book that is recommended by a booktuber or a bookstagrammer. Plenty of options for that, but I did not complete that prompt. Number 14 is to read a duology or a trilogy. I read part of a duology, Halloween Craving by Lisa Freed. And this is book number 1. No, Halloween Kismet that I mentioned earlier, that one is actually, I believe, a dragon. That one's a dragon romance. This one, Halloween Craving, is the zombie romance, written by Lisa Freed. And this one, Lisa did write another book that is a zombie romance from... So this one, Halloween Craving, is from the perspective mostly... Well, it switches between the male and the female like a lot of romances do. So the main male is the zombie, and then book number 2, we're following his friend, who is another zombie. This one I gave 3 stars. It was 99 pages of just smutty, fun zombie sex with a human. So we'll leave it at that. And then the final prompt for just the general prompt that everyone could do is a book that has a map, and I did not complete that. So that's 12 books read for this readathon. A total of 2,888 pages. So divided by the 12 books, that turns out to be 240.67 pages per book. If I divided that by 30 days, the 2,888, it is 96.27 pages per day read for this readathon. As far as the star ratings, I did not give any 0 stars. One book did get a 1 star, and that is the ebook that I have unhauled. 6 books got a 3 star, 3 of them got 4 stars, and 2 of them got 5 stars. So that's 41 stars issued for this readathon. Divided by the 12 books, it is a 3.42 star average rating. And yeah, this was great. Melanie always does a great job with these SeasonAthon readathons, with these prompts and everything, and the co-hosts do a good job with the announcements and everything as well. And I look forward to the next one that Melanie will hopefully do. So let me know, did you participate, and what cabin were you in? Again, I was in Rainbow Cabin, so let me know. And if you've also read any of these books, talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.